the far left really want to put the straps on discussion outside of their acceptable boundaries, And, there are some spooky people in that parliament, and they will see a benefit in shutting down discussion that's free and sometimes challenges all of their assumptions and all of their views of the world. I just don't know why this doesn't get much more firepower from the broader media. I mean, you've got in that parliament building of yours, you've got an entire press gallery up there that it could almost come under assault from the parliament on the other side of the wall because they don't like the sound of what they're reading.
Yeah, well, I mean, the answer to that is probably because most of them would be exempt from this legislation, I expect. I mean, I think that's probably what you're seeing, and it's often the way. I think you often see these big companies pushing hard for regulation because it actually suits them, because they may be harder for the smaller guy to get across the line, and that's what would happen here. I mean, I think increasingly Australians are turning away from mainstream news. I certainly am. I don't watch any of it anymore, and I rely on smaller outlets like this, and like many others. The news I get on Twitter, all of which would be under challenge from this law if it were to pass. And forgive me, but I tend to take the view that if something's ridiculous and outrageous and completely kooky and whatever, then people generally work it out. I don't think people need too much protection from free speech. So look, this will come back. It'll come back, I think, in a slightly less worse way. But let's just hope that there's enough pushback inside Parliament to knock this one on the head. It can't go through, and if it does, then it needs to be repealed. And I'm really glad to see that my side of politics is pushing hard against it, which is great news.
Yeah, well, good. I mean, I like seeing a little bit of passion from the Liberal National Party every now and then. Passion works, and it works. It certainly works. It works. It has results. It's sad for me. I've spent my entire life working in mainstream media, and I still think I am in the mainstream media. It's sad for me that to hear a political significant figure as you are to sort of say you've lost trust in the whole thing, which is kind of why we need to make sure that organisations like this one stay alive and keep powering on. Great to talk to you, Senator, and keep doing what you do. It's good to have people who are prepared to stand and fight.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thanks for having me on, and I'll let you know how it progresses.